get radical. I told y'all the devil was trying me last night, and I had put on my war music. So I get to work, and what's the first thing that happened? I walk in my office. Now I lock my drawers when I leave every day. The only thing I left, I don't think I leave out, is some books, a little thing that keeps the date, and if I have like a jacket or something on my back of my chair, I'll leave it on there sometimes. Sometimes I put it in my drawer, but yesterday I left it on the back of the chair. So I walk in. I read my Bible yesterday too, because I put a post up on Facebook about the Bible verse I had flipped to. I walk in the office, no lie, I put that Bible back in the cabinet. Okay? After I read it that morning. I walk in my office this morning, and that Bible was on the floor. I said, okay. As soon as I walked in, I was ready. I was like, okay, you trying me. You trying me. So then I was like, I put my headphones on, but it seemed like it was somebody in our building, and I thought maybe they was coming to my office. And so I was like, I'm gonna wait a minute. And so I just had my headphones on, but I didn't turn them on. And so then when I got ready, I was like, it had been an hour, and I was like, okay, let me turn on some music or whatever. Y'all, my headphones was dead. I was like, straight two. For real, like straight two. And then I was like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna turn on something. I think originally I was just gonna listen to some kind of relaxing music, but it was a sermon right at the top, which they always put a Sarah Jake sermon when I come on, and then I just click it and I be watching sermons. And so this one was press on, and I was like, okay, we can listen to that. So I listened to it. What they was sitting there talking about? She was talking about Jesus in the wilderness for 40 days, getting baptized. Exact same thing I was writing about yesterday. I was like, doggone it. So she told me up. Y'all gonna have to wait for that one. Then I'm trying to make this one a little shorter. And then after that, another one like automatically played, and it was like the Mother's Day one. And I think I had listened to it before, honestly. And so I went to go, at a certain point, I went to go save it, and I don't know if it was saved or not. It couldn't have been saved because it would have popped up and said already saved, but it said saved to sermons. And I saved in there sermons I want to rewatch. And so, most of them murders, honestly. But with this sermon, that's what she was talking about, y'all. The birth of Jesus, which I was writing about, because my book is about Mary and Eve. Then she was talking about John and his dad, mom and dad, and all that. Exact same thing I was writing about yesterday. I was like, And so I kept pulling out my sheet of paper. I had a sheet of paper in my purse from the day before that I had wrote a note on for my book. And so I was kept pulling it out, writing more notes, pulling it out, writing more notes, pulling out. I'm like, I thought I had all the information I needed, and I was done. And I'm like, okay, maybe something here I need to add. So that's what we'll be doing. And that sermon had, I'll say 15 minutes left, and I was like, oh, I'm leaving in 5 minutes. And so I was like, I could just watch the next 5 minutes and then get up and leave. I ended up, somebody emailed me right at that time, and so I had to sit there and listen to the rest of that sermon. And at the end, she was talking about, you got enough knowledge, can't store it up, gotta release it. Same thing as a sermon Sunday about the butterfly. Y'all, I have wild days. My days are like this every day. So just imagine all the things that come together. And then, not even to mention, my god sister called me, and that's always a whole Jesus, we're gonna call it the Jesus rabbit hole. We go down, and we giggle and have a good time about how God be showing out, because he be showing out with her too. And so when I had to pick up the phone to call somebody, that's what I be having to call. And it's interesting because this week I've gotten four calls. Because I've been wanting to do something with business development. Just because I like to like brainstorm a whole bunch of ideas and give them to people, even when they don't want them. Like when I went to that bookstore pop-up shop, I told the lady, I was like, you have good pricing, you have a good book selection. I was just talking. That's just how I talk to people. Like, I assume you're gonna want my ideas, you know, they're free, whatever. My feedback, like if you would like my feedback, maybe I should ask it as a question. I'm like, I just ended with, I'm not anybody, I'm just giving my input. And the first person that called me this week asked me about how to reformat her cover for Amazon, her book cover, because she had been trying to do it for like 3 weeks. The second person that called me asked me about something she wanted, a document she wanted to offer to her clients, and she wanted to know if it was useful or not. And then I told her, she could also sell it on Etsy and yada yada yada. And then I had a lady at the book event who was outside talking about doing ghostwriting for some books. So yeah, this has been a thing for a while. But I'm like, that was just like the most call I got in 1 week about stuff like that. So maybe we'll be getting into some of that too. But that big email I got yesterday, just made a phone call about it. I don't know what the results are gonna be, but we're gonna buckle in our seatbelts